Well, hey, what's going on, everybody? Well, today's the next day after we painted it. I went to the GM show, and I'm going to apologize because I did not take any video up there. I took the Firebird up, and I just didn't take any video. I didn't get there till late, so I'm sorry about that. But we did get the paint done on the Coronet. So we took all the plastic off and unmasked it, and this is what we got. So it's looking really good. So we're gonna have to do got some orange peel in it, so we're gonna have to buff it and everything else, which we kind of anticipated, and there's a little bit of dirt and stuff in it, so we'll have to knock the nubs off and everything. So, but I mean, look where we shot it. So it's not like we have this controlled area and spray booth to work in, but it came out nice. Put 3 coats of single stage enamel black on it, because we just wanted to just put something on it that was going to be inexpensive, that we wouldn't have to spend a lot of money on, because this is only going to be a temporary thing until he paints the whole car. So, but it's pretty dead nuts straight. It looks real good. Once we get this sand it down and get this orange peel off of it and buff it real good, it should look real nice. So, but it came out great. It looks good. We're real happy with it. The roof there's no dents or crap or bullshit going on. Everything looks good. So now we need to move on. So we're going to start maybe tomorrow. We're going to start, we got to do some spots that he had from when he welded. So we got a little spot here. We're going to try and, he bought some green paint. I don't know how this is going to match up, but we're going to try and just kind of spot some of these areas in and just try and buff it. We're not anticipating on it matching real well, but we're going to try. But when he was welding the channel in back here on this, it ended up burning the paint and stuff, and it was just unavoidable. There was, there was nothing you could do about it. So we're going to try and start working on that. We got a couple spots up here we're going to do that got a little shitty because he had to weld. There's a hole and stuff right in here, so we're going to have to do in here. And then there's some spots along here we're going to have to try and do. This is probably going to be the worst. So what we're going to try and do is just smooth this out. We'll feather this in and put some spot putty in there, and then we're going to try and level it, and we're going to hit it with some green paint that he got, that they tried to match up as best they could, and we'll see what happens. And once we get that done, we're going to start on the headliner and get that done, because we need to get the windows back in it in order to wet sand it, or else we're going to have a mess all inside the car. So while I'm working on that stuff, Tom's going to start sanding the dash down, because we had that burn mark in the dash here, and he bought some paint and we sprayed it on, and when we were spraying it on, we were having all kinds of issues with it. It wasn't laying down right. And yeah, it was getting all rough and kind of orange peely and stuff and weird. And we cleaned and cleaned and cleaned and cleaned it, so I don't know if something was in the paint, maybe from them armor-alling the dash pad for so many years or something. So what Tom's gonna do is we're gonna strip this down, and we're gonna hit it with some etching primer, and we're gonna try and spray it again. We're gonna try and just get a clean surface to try and do this with, and we're gonna get that dash painted and get that done. Plus, you got that dash cap. You got a dash cap. Like I got. Yep, you got a dash cap. So he's got this crack in this dash. Unfortunately, this is the only issue in this whole dash, is that little crack right there. But no, to find a dash pad for this thing is like finding one for the Pontiac. It's like impossible. And then when you do find one, and it's millions of dollars, and it's already 50 years old.
They won't put us $500 for that. Just that one.
Oh, really? Is that a reproduction? 500
That's
bucks? Oh my God.
I haven't seen an OEM yet.
Yeah.
OE.
Does it?
A reproduction one is over 400.
Does it spit or swallow for that kind of money?
I don't know.
Jesus.
And you got to paint it.
Yeah, it comes black, so it's not even the right color.
So, you got
so for 500 bucks, you still got to paint it.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And it's a little pain. It's not a big pain to take that out. It's bolted like yours and
Yeah.
mine are.
Yeah, yours is a little different.
Mine's a
Easier to
little
get out.
different. It's not real bad to get it out, but as nice as your cap came out, I really put the cap in.
Yeah. Yes, mine seems to be holding up well.
Yeah.
Had some people questioning me, asking me about it yesterday, and they're looking. They said, "Boy, your dash is nice." I said, "Well, that's a cap," and they didn't even realize it until I pointed it out to them. But it's still holding up fairly well. We did have one issue. We had a spot like right in here that lifted. It actually humped up. So I came home and I pumped a bunch of the sealant or silicone or whatever they give you to glue it down with, and I jammed a block of wood in there and wedged it against the windshield, and I let it sit like that for a night. And it seems to be holding it, so we'll see. But I think the biggest problem is that they wanted you to cut out the vinyl that was, or the dash pad that was loose. Well, there's like that foam under it, and I'm wondering if it just isn't, the foam's just lifting off, because it just doesn't have a good enough surface to hook to. We'll see. It seems to be holding up real well. I'm happy with it. It's still better than what it was, the alternative, so we'll see how it goes. So when it lifts again, we'll squirt more crap in it and jam it down again. Probably can only do that so many times, I'm sure, but that's where we're at with this. This is how it's looking. It looks real good.
Yeah, if you want about we're not leaving it like this.
No, we're putting the vinyl trim back on it.
The vinyl trim back on it.
Yeah, that's what it's going to look like with the trim back on it. We got all the drip rail chrome. There's another piece of trim that.
There's a trim that goes.
Yeah, it goes back here and then comes up around and hooks in with the drip rail stuff.
All that's going to be back on.
Yeah, we're going to put all the trim back on it.
So it's going to look really nice when you put all that trim back on.
Yeah, you stand back here, you get a good view of what we're going to be looking at. That's pretty much what it's gonna be looking like. So, but we can't be any happier with the roof. I mean, we really worked on that, blocking this thing out, trying to get it as straight as we could. I mean, I don't know how much you can see in the video, but it's dead nuts straight. I mean, there isn't any dents or any goofy crap going on at all.
Just the A-pillars come out nice, little welded up all.
Yeah, you welded that seam up top there.
This is all welded, no putty.
Yeah, where the seam is here, where they filled that with putty from the factory. Tom welded this whole seam up right in here. So that's all metal. There's no filler. A little bit of spot putty in there. That's about it.
You know, some of the pits.
Mm-hmm.
Pits down through there.
Well, you even welded some of the pits up and ground them down. Yeah.
All the deep ones.
Yeah, there's a bunch of deep pits on it from rust, and Tom welded it up. He kind of did the same thing back here, because after we wire brushed it, some of the pits actually come through. Before we started puttying it, we wire brushed it before we put the etching primer on. And some of the stuff was so weak it just went through. So Tom ended up having to put some welds all through here and different areas. Back in here, he had to do quite a bit of welding back in this area here, because it was just rusted. But if we'd have left this go for another year, this would have been a mess. It just couldn't happen. Yeah, it would have been a lot worse. It couldn't happen. We had to get it off of here. So, but we're real happy with it. They come out good. All the curves, everything's good. The paint's still, it looks like it's settling a little bit more. I'm sure it probably will a little bit until we get time to wet sand and buff it. But like I said, there's orange peel in it, and we don't know if it's just where we sprayed. There's a little bit of breeze blowing through here yesterday morning when Dave was shooting it. I mean, he had an HVLP gun that he was using, and if you could see in the video, well, you'll see it, and you'll see it when I download this, first part of all this. You'll see that it wasn't putting out a lot of overspray. So, I mean, I don't know if putting plastic up or wetting floors would have made that much of a difference. I mean, I don't know.
Nothing got in the paint?
Well, there's a little bit of dust and stuff in it, yeah.
No
But I mean, look where we're spraying it at.
No bugs, no big bumps and nothing you got in there.
We're pretty much just opened the doors up and shot it. So, it is what it is. It's not a professional body shop by any means. We muddle through it just to get it done, but it looks good. So, now, could be worse. It could be waving at us, and it isn't. It's not like the Firebird. The passenger side waves back at you. So, all right. Well, that's going to be it for this one. Oh, about the intake. Oh yeah, I found a fine quality Pontiac part up at the GM show. Picked up an old Edelbrock P4B aluminum intake for the Pontiac for $50. I think I pretty much got a steal on it now. It has some issues. Tom's going to take it, and he's going to have to probably weld these holes all up in here because they're all stripped, and somebody went apeshit on this one and went crazy on it. I saw that when I bought it. It wasn't any mystery. Every time I find these things, they're between $175 and $250. But this is an early intake, probably from maybe late 60s, early 70s. It's a better intake than the Performer is.
Got big runners in it.
Yeah, it's got nice big runners on it. A Performer intake has real narrow runners that don't flow real well. This looks really almost exactly like the old cast iron one that's on here. Not that there's anything wrong with the cast iron one, but I got to thinking, it'd be nice to put an aluminum one on it. And I've been kind of looking around for one, but they've been really tough to find, and I didn't want to put a Performer on it, and guys are getting freaking $350 for RPMs and stuff, and I happened to find this one. So nice thing about this is it's square bore, so I can ditch that damn spacer plate. I don't know if that's still causing me any issues or not. I mean, it runs good. The 4-barrel is just a little weird when it goes to come in. I still haven't been able to. I haven't really been able to mess with it, but I still haven't been able to. Well, they're the same size as what the cast iron ones are, so yeah, it might flow a little bit more. It might RPM a little better. It's hard to say. I don't know. So we're gonna clean it all up, get it all tapped out, and get everything done. So yeah. So upcoming video, this might be going on. I'm in no hurry to do it, but once we get it fixed. Yeah. Well, then I got to get gaskets and everything. Like I said, I'm in no rush to get this done. It runs fine the way it is right now. This might be like a late summer, fall type project. So, got other stuff I'd like to work on before I mess with that. So, but right now it runs good, and I don't feel like screwing with it. It seems to be working just fine. So that's going to be it for this one. Until we come back, and we'll bring you back when we start messing around, putting the green and doing the dash. So it's going to be it for now.
Oh, you already got one on the roof.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got that. Hey, what's happening, everybody? Back with you guys. We got some more work done on the Coronet. Working on touching this paint stuff up back here. We put some etching primer, or no, put some fill prime on some of it because some of it just wasn't that bad, but we got to put some fill prime in, or I mean, what the hell do I want to say? Can't think straight. Just got off work. Spot putty. So we're going to spot putty these spots here, and hopefully we can get some of this to blend in with the green. So we got it looking pretty decent. Did up front here. Saw spots where Tom, when he welded up holes, it just burned the paint through, and there was no avoiding it. It just, as much as we tried to keep from doing that, and it wasn't working out real well. So we got this stuff all primed. Used some fillable primer to get some of the low spots out of some of the areas, so we didn't have to use spot putty. And we got it flattened down pretty good and smooth. You can't really even feel it. So we just got to lay some spot putty into these spots, because right back in here is where he had to do a lot of grinding, and this is where the metal was all replaced in the channel. So it's coming along. Once we get this stuff done, then we'll be able to start on the headliner. But for right now, we got to get this stuff. We want to get this stuff done, and then once this is done, we can do the headliner, and the windows can go back. So that's where we stand on this right now. We got to lay some spot putty on there today, do a little bit of sanding, and try and get that stuff smoothed out so we can lay some paint on it. So I'm kind of hoping maybe we can get some paint on it maybe this week. Because we're going to have to do. I'm not sure how well the paint's going to match. It's just going to have to be close enough. He took something into the body shop, or the body supply place, and a girl there tried to match it up for her. So we might have something that, you know, we'll see how well we can blend it. Anything will look better than gray primer, even if it is a little couple shades off of the green. So, and if you notice, we have another one of these fine quality Mopar pieces in the garage. So this is our ride for the Chrysler show, because we're not going to have the Coronet done at all. There's just no way we're going to get it done in time. There's just too many things to do, and Chrysler's next weekend, so it's just not going to happen. So we commandeered Dave DeBrush's 70 Charger. So this is what we're going to be cruising up. It's a 383 pistol grip 4-speed car. This is the original color. It's semi-orange, white interior, black vinyl top, bucket seats, console, big old gnarly pistol grip. It's a nice car. Runs good. It was restored about 20 years ago, so it's starting to show a little bit of age, but it's still a pretty nice machine. Let's see if I can get this hood up by myself here. Yep, there we go. Here's the old 33 Magnum. So I was with him when he found this car and bought it like 30 years ago. So we actually bought this from a Dodge dealership up in Duncan in Pennsylvania. And was sitting out behind it, and well, at that time it didn't look like this. So, but he did a full frame off restoration on it, pulled the whole car apart 20 years ago, K-frame, everything was out of it, redid the whole car. So, jeez. Watch you don't take your hand off on that thing, dude. So this is going to be our ride for the Chrysler show, since Tom's car isn't going to be ready. So, I don't know, we might doll Dave's car up a little bit. He's got these Camp 500 knockoffs on there. And yeah, they're flat spot. And then we're looking, because yeah, Dave doesn't drive this car at all. He needs to drive it more, but he doesn't. But we're looking at Tom's wheels. I don't know. There might be a wheel swap going on here just for the show. We'll see how froggy we feel. I think it'll look good with them big meats on the back.
I had them on there before. They did look good.
Yeah, the wheels look good. Yeah, but you didn't have the big meats on the back.
No, I didn't.
No, you just had the smaller ones.
That's why I took them, because I don't know.
Yeah.
That's like a fat meats.
Yeah. Dave's not into the big and little thing. He likes to rotate. Me, I don't care. So that's where we stand right now. So we'll get back to you when we got some more updates. We're going to do a little bit of work. We're going to be up there. I'm coming up. I took a half day off work on Friday, and Tom did too. And we'll be up there all day Saturday. So anybody's up there and wants to hang out, talk to us and stuff. Unfortunately, we won't have the Coronet, but we'll have the Charger. So come over and say hi and hang out. So, all right, that's it for now. Hey, what's going on, everybody? So we just got done painting all the spots that we were touching up the other day. So there's the front. blended in pretty good. We ended up using a different paint than what they gave him. This is actually the paint that he got for the interior, and it actually matches real well. There's some dark spots in it from where you can see it. I didn't blend it real well there, but I mean, this is all done with spray cans, so we're just trying to just get it looking decent, you know, because he ended up burning the paint off up here, and then back here where he burned all the paint off, this is the whole finish panel back here, and this seemed to blend in pretty good too. Now we got overspray on stuff, so we're gonna have to clean and probably wet sand some of this to get it smoothed out. But this is all the area that was all repaired, all right in here. So, and that's how it come out. So next step is the headliner, and then the windows. And we need to clean this hog up because it is filthy. We'll probably do a little bit of buffing, but that's how this is all turned out. I think it looks pretty good for the means that we had to do it with. And considering I'm not a body guy and I don't paint except with spray cans, I think it looks really good. So, but we'll have to wet sand to buff it, blend it all in. There's a lot of overspray on the car too that we'll have to clean off, because of course using the spray can you're gonna get stuff everywhere. But Tom's pretty happy with it. It blends in real well. It looks better than it did, and there was not much we could do in the back here because he had to weld those pieces in, and it just burned the paint. So this is the only thing we could do to get it looking right. So that's it for now. Just a reminder, we're going to be taking the big pumpkin here up to the Chrysler show. So hopefully I'll be there Friday afternoon. Tom will be there Friday afternoon. Probably get there around noon is what I'm thinking. So if anybody's up there, come hang out. And we'll be there Saturday too with the pumpkin. So that's about it for this. And I'll see you guys later.